What's up YouTube, Justin Fuller here, and today I want to talk about something a little different other than just this 2021 Honda Civic EX that's sitting behind me. I regularly get this, hey, if I'm looking to buy accessories for this car, how can I buy them cheaper? And would you review some of the other items that are out there so I know that if they're worth the money to buy? So today we're going to talk about not only ways to buy cheaper accessories for your Honda Civic, but also how to save money, whether you're buying them through the dealership, through an aftermarket company, or even off Amazon. So let's hop on in. All right, guys, so today we're going to be talking about buying accessories for your Honda Civic. Now, I want to focus on one of the most probably commonly purchased ones, and that's going to be your floor mats to your car, right? So we can talk about this, and this is going to apply to all of the accessories, really, but I want to kind of walk you through some different things that you should know related to your floor mats. The first thing I would tell you is that there's probably three different groups that you're going to buy them from. The first being, hey, I want to buy them through the dealership, right? And then the second group is, hey, if I'm buying aftermarket, who am I going to go through? A lot of people are typically probably going to look at WeatherTech, right? So a lot of times you're looking at WeatherTech, and then you're looking at whatever the dealership is offering, which is usually a Honda OEM part, right? Now, lastly, you might hop on Amazon and shop there. So I'm going to go over these three different options and talk to you about some pluses and minuses that you should know about purchasing this way. Now, the first being WeatherTech. Now, WeatherTech does, of course, offer, floor mats for your Honda Civic, right? Being whether it's a 21, a 20, or whatever it may be. And the floor mats I'm going to be talking today will fit a range of these, right? So through them, they offer three different options. Now, WeatherTech, let's talk about the pluses. The pluses for WeatherTech is that I want to buy American, right? But of course, you are buying a car that's not American, so I don't know if this plays a role for those that buy, right? This is kind of a weird niche, but that would be one of the first things. Now, the second is that they do offer them in black, they offer them in gray, and they offer them in tan. They're going to be the only option out there that you can get different colored floor mats. Maybe that plays a role for you, maybe it doesn't matter at all, but that's just something you should know. Now, on their base setup, right, if you just want a base floor mat that doesn't have any floor liners or anything like that, but they are laser cut and they are made of TPE, which is kind of a recycled plastic, which is of a rubber-based material, which doesn't have like any allergens or anything in it that you're going to run into, right? So those are going to start out at $99, right? So $99, and then if you're buying through WeatherTech, you got to pay $18 shipping. So now you're really looking at $107, right? So that's for their base ones, right? Now the second ones up from that, right? So now you're going to upgrade a little bit, are going to get you floor liners, right? So they're going to be raised a little bit on the sides, and that way they stay in place a little bit better. And if you drag your foot, you're not going to, that sort of thing, right? So those are going to be a little bit more costly. And I want to say those are at $179 plus the $18 shipping. So I'll throw that option up on the screen just so you can see what it looks like, right? So that way you can see an image and understand the pricing. Now the third option they have is that basically that same floor liner, but it's HP. So I'm guessing high performance. It doesn't seem that it's made out of a different material or anything like that. So I would say you're just really paying $20 more a month, $190, I think $490 for these. And I couldn't really tell you the difference between those and the second grade ones, right? So anyways, they range between $99 and $194, but you got to count that $18 of shipping, and then you got to wait for them to show up. Okay, so that's one option, right? That's the WeatherTech option. Now, if you want a secondary option, you could just buy them through the dealership. Now, let's talk about buying things through the dealerships, because I want to give you some tips and tricks on not only buying floor mats, but buying any accessory through the dealership. The first thing I will tell you is you can't include them in the purchase. That's always nice. Whether you're buying a new car, like the one I'm sitting in, or you're buying a pre-owned car, which is pretty hot right now, right? You can't get new cars because chip shortages, but you can get used cars. And even a used car, if it's a year or two old, you can buy it through the dealership, right? And they'll usually lump it into your payment. Now, that's kind of cool in one sense, but I would tell you there's a couple things you can do to work around that, and here's why. The first being, if you buy it through the dealership, there's an installation cost for any accessory that they show you that sheet of that you buy. Now, the particular dealership I'm sitting at today, I believe they're $194 if you buy the item from them and have it installed at the time of your purchase, whether it be a new car or a pre-owned car, right? And you can look at previous years too, and they'll show you, if you're in the used car department, they'll show you a sheet and say, hey, it's this much if you want to add it in. Same thing with like roof rails, side body molding, cargo mats, anything that you want to have installed on the car. Now, I mention that because something like a floor mat, paying an installation cost and lumping it in, you don't really need to do that, right? The pluses to lumping something in like that would be that it's covered by the warranty. So if you were buying, something that it was like a wireless charger in a car, right? And you want to have it lumped in, one, it makes it easier. You're not spending $800 or whatever the cost of it may be up front, because you maybe can't pull that out of your pocket because you're using it as your down payment. But secondarily, if you lump it into that purchase, whether it's new or used car, it's covered by the warranty of the car if it still has a warranty. So if it's a new or certified car, it would cover that item that you just purchased in that warranty. So now it lives under that 3 or 36,000 mile warranty or whatever it may be on the used car if it's, maybe a certified pre-owned, right? So there is a plus to it, but on the negative side is if I'm buying something like a floor mat or a cargo mat or something that I don't really care if it has a warranty because it's a floor mat, right? I don't need a warranty. Then buying it through that as part of that purchase process doesn't benefit you. It actually kind of hinders you because you could have instead walked right over to the parts department in the service department, asked to buy that part, right? Those floor mats or that charger, and it would have cost you less money. Right? So if it's an item that doesn't require really installation like a floor mat, you could have bought those items, you know, for maybe $175 versus $194 and saved yourself 20 bucks literally right there because you were paying that extra money for someone to install it in your car, right? So know that if you want to buy something from the dealership, if it's something that you don't care about having covered by a warranty, it would make sense to instead walk over to the parts department and go, I'll just buy my floor mats here and I'll buy my cargo cover here or my cargo floor mat here or my trunk mat here or my cargo net that's going in the trunk, things like that. Just buy them from the parts department, right? And save yourself the additional money. Now, if it's something that's electronic or something that you want to warranty on, like a roof rail or a side body molding where it could fall off or could malfunction, if something happens, then maybe it's worth paying that extra, amount and having it included in the purchase so that it'll be covered by warranty. So that's buying from the dealership. The only thing I'd tell you about buying from the dealership is this: is that every dealership is going to charge a different amount. So while this dealership that I'm at is only charging $194 for the floor mats for the sedan, if you check with your local dealership, it's probably going to be a different amount, right? And then if there's 3 dealerships in your town, they may all charge different amounts for it, right? So at that point, you kind of want to call the parts departments and just ask them. And that's why I tell you, it has some negatives to buying it from the dealership, but it can make sense if it's the right accessory. So that's the big point to that. Now, so we've talked about buying, floor mats from WeatherTech, right? We've talked about buying, floor mats from the dealership. You could buy them from the parts department and probably save yourself some money versus lumping it into your purchase. So know that as well, but there are the pluses and minuses of lumping it in, covering by the warranty and not, but it depends on the item that you're buying. Now, the last option would be, hey, I'm just, it's a floor mat. I'm just going to hop on Amazon and see what's out there, but I just don't really know, right? So what are you going to do? Typically, you look up the item and then immediately go, well, let me look at the reviews or let me try to Google some reviews on it, right? Well, that's where today's video kind of comes into play because a company called Medesasi or Medesasi, I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'll spell it because my word is just terrible. A company called Medesasi, that's Medesasi, has an Amazon store. And they asked me to review their floor mats. Now, the first thing I did was say, okay, well, let's look at their floor mats and start comparing them. So if I look at their floor mats, they are also made of TPE, which is that recycled material that's rubber-based. So just like the Honda ones and just like the WeatherTech ones, they are all made of the same materials. They are also laser cut. So just like the Honda ones and just like the WeatherTech ones, they've all been laser designed and laser cut to fit inside of the car. So when it comes to that, there's really no differences between these other than the Medesasi ones. Hope I'm saying that, guys, right? Or it's going to be price point at this point of one, I can buy them for, I believe, $109. So I'll throw the price up on the screen and down below, I'll throw in the description a link if you want to buy them. I'll make it my Amazon affiliate link. So know that by buying them, it actually does benefit me too. So just heads up on that. But I want to talk to you about those floor mats and then I want to show you what they look like inside of the car because one, I can get them for a price point that really makes it more cost friendly than buying them through Honda. And I don't really care about a warranty because it's a floor mat. And then two, if I don't care about buying something that's American made to put in my Japanese car, then maybe it makes sense to buy this item, right? At that point, it's just making sure that the quality is there. And that's where I come into play today, is let's talk about the quality of that item. So let's get them out of the box, let's throw them in the car, and let's go over what they look like, how they feel, how they adjust, do they slide on your feet, any issues that they may have. So let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons, and talk about if these are worth the money. So let's hop on in. All right, guys, so the first piece I want to talk about is, of course, your driver's side, right? Because it's probably arguably the most important piece. And the reason I say that is because this is the one that's going to slide around the most because your foot's going to be moving around in it. So I will point out, of course, you do have the locking pieces. So as you can see right there, it will lock in on both sides. So this is going to work with your Honda OEM setup. And then, of course, it does have the high wall. So as you're dragging your feet in dirt, it'll stay collected so you can pull out and throw it off or be able to wash them off, right? So it just makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about the passenger side. So here we are on the passenger side. Hopefully that wasn't too creepy. But either way, you could see that obviously it fits in, it's lipped on the sides. So much like the WeatherTech side, you're starting at the $179 price tag for those guys, or Honda, you're at that $194. So at $109, these are making a lot of sense, but we haven't seen if they fit in the car yet, which we're gonna check right after we look at the backseat setup. Nom, nom, nom. Did I drink too much energy drink today? Possibly, but that's besides the point. At least this is kind of fun. We're reviewing floor mats, let's be honest. All right, so the interior floor mats for the back of the car, obviously they're one long big piece. You have the forelip here, and then on the back you of course have the deals to keep it kind of stuck to the carpet, but the important part, let's talk about if it fits in the car. So, all right, let's throw them in the car and take a look and see if anything is misplaced, if it doesn't quite fit, if the laser cut wasn't quite what it should have been, and check to see if this is really worth the $109 that you're spending versus spending $194 through Honda, my specific dealership, or yours, could be more, less, we don't know, or if it's worth it to go through WeatherTech, spend anywhere from $99 up to $194 to get something like this, but then on top of that, pay the $18 shipping, and have to wait for it, which I'm kind of impatient, so I like next day shipping. So let's hop on in and see if they fit. Ooh, is that the soft, silky feel of TPE material? Yeah, I don't know what it really is supposed to feel like either, but let's talk about the floor mats and how they fit inside of the driver's side. Okay, so as you come in here, I'll point out that, of course, it does have the locking spots right here and here, so they will lock into place so that they don't slide around. Now, up here, it, of course, fits up behind here, so, right? So you're good as far as fitting behind your pedals. The only thing I would complain about, and obviously it's the first time I put them in, they'll probably form as they heat up and kind of fold and mold, but you can see I have a little bit of a miss on the lip here, so not too big. On the other side, it's perfectly flush and fitting nice, and I would argue that since I just pulled them out of a box, that might be what it is, but if I'm gonna be picky, that would be the only thing that I might complain about so far. So let's look at the passenger side. All right, guys, so here we are at the passenger side, and obviously you can see that the floor mat fits in there perfectly, and I do have this nice lip that runs up, and it runs quite deep up in here. So that way, if you're kicking your feet way up under there, you should be good. Now on this side, you'll notice there is nothing here where you typically find like that WeatherTech emblem or whatever. So it's not badge, which maybe you like, maybe you don't, or maybe you want to cut out and put your own emblem there, which would be kind of awesome that you could customize it and it would hold it in this lip. So just something to think about. And then of course, as it wraps around, you can see that it fits and contours over, and then it's got nice grippies here. That way you can clean off your feet, and then of course be able to pull out and wash it off. So as far as fitting in the passenger side, everything looks pretty good. So arguably I would say in the back seat is if you're gonna run into an issue with any kind of off-brand floor mat, this is where you're gonna see the issues, because typically getting over that hump right in the center is gonna be where it's gonna get funky. So check it out. I've got my feet down in here and they actually fit pretty nice, and they slide all the way up underneath. So I've got this seat pushed all the way up so you can see how deep it gets under there. Most people are not gonna have the seat up this far unless you're an extremely short person. But you can see that it fits in nicely. I've got the lip fits all the way around. When I get over to the center, there's a little bit of space here, but not enough to make this really wonky, right? There's just a small gap that's here. And like I said, it could be that once it heats up in the car, it'll actually form to it a little bit better. But even right here, it fits around this lip perfectly, so it's staying in place. So I do like that if there is gonna be a little bit of give, no big deal. That way, if you kick it, it just kind of moves here, not the whole mat. But it is there. So I just want to point it out, right? Other than that, I'm just getting my feet dirty on this stuff over here. But you can see that obviously these are great floor mats. For $109, I would definitely risk it. I would say that arguably, if I can save myself almost an entire another $100 instead of buying WeatherTechs, yeah, I would probably consider these, unless I really just want a Honda part and I really want that Honda logo on it. But like I said, you saw up in the front, I could probably, 3D print my own logo, and if I wanted to customize my car, I could make it look really awesome, right? Throw a little bit of glue down there, drop in my logo, and now my floor mats might say my name on them. So just something cool that you could do with these, since they are a little bit generic and they have left like a cutout for a logo. So something to keep in mind. All right, guys, so let's talk about a final conclusion and final thoughts on these floor mats. So wave hi to my friend Medesasi. It kind of looks like a face. I'm lonely, I need friends. But anyways, let's get back to the point here. Let's talk about these floor mats, right? So we can agree that they're made out of the same materials. They're made out of that TPE material, which is recyclable and is a rubber-based material. It's not gonna be any allergens in it, so you don't have to worry about latex or anything like that. So know that you're in a good spot when it comes to that, right? Now let's talk about the laser cut finish. All of them are laser cut. So whether it's Honda, whether it's WeatherTech, or whether it's these, right? I could barely find a lip to where it didn't quite fit the edge. And to be honest, it's probably because I just pulled it out of a box. So there could be that. Now let's talk about shipping. Now when it comes to shipping, if you're going with WeatherTech, you're looking at $18 additional and then ground shipping, so you're gonna have to wait around for them. I will just admit it, I'm used to Amazon. I like things the next day, and if not the next day, then the very next day. So I'm gonna be a little bit impatient when it comes to that, so it's kind of a con for me. Now, if you're buying from the dealership, chances are they will have this item in stock because, let's be honest, it's something they regularly sell. Now, a reminder when it comes to the dealership is that, one, of course, this is an item you could probably walk over to parts and get cheaper than if you lump in with your purchase. So whether you're buying like a certified used one or you're buying something that's brand new, know that. Now, if you're buying something that's outside of the realm of a floor mat, much like my friend Medesasi, maybe you want to consider it. Like if it's a wireless phone charger, something electronic, something that you want a warranty on would be a reason to pay that extra that they're going to charge you to install it, or just that extra additional fee that they're going to build in to know that it's covered by the warranty of the car. So there is a plus and there is a minus to those items. Now, I will remind you, when you're buying items like this through the dealership, every dealership can charge what they want for them. So know that while mine are $194 here at this specific dealership, if I was to go to the Honda dealership across town, they would be a different price. And then, guys are further up road, a different price. So be aware of that, right? It's not one universal price when you're buying the item from Honda. Now, lastly, you can hop on Amazon and start shopping around. Now, the guys at Medesasi have an entire site, so not only do they sell Honda Civic ones, but they sell them for a plethora of different vehicles, whether you want floor mats or cargo mats or whatever it may be. Specific to this car, these are the ones with the lip, and like I said, I will throw the link to these down in the description, so if you want to buy them, you absolutely can. I will remind you that it is my Amazon affiliate link, so it does not only benefit me, but also the company that is selling these, right? So just be aware of that, right? There is a little bit of bias there. Other than that, though, I think it's a good product. It's made the same as all the others. I can get it next day, so that's always cool. And then, of course, I want to know that it works, right? It does fit in this car. We just looked at it. I know that the product works. I know it's at a good cost at $109 versus $194 here at my local dealership, or anywhere from $99 for the ones without walls that don't lock into place, up to $194 if I do want the high performance ones, right? So from that standpoint, I would say arguably price point, these make a lot of sense. Materials and quality, this absolutely makes sense. As far as being able to buy them easily and get them shipped to me fast, these make sense. So for all the right reasons, I would say, hey, these might be something you want to consider. Now, if you absolutely want another brand, sure, there's other options out there, but know that Medesasi is offering a quality product that you can get for your Honda Civic. And I do like, lastly, that they did leave this small lip in here so that I absolutely could customize this and make this my own. Other than that, hopefully I hope this helps. Now you have some tips and tricks on buying not only floor mats, but additional accessories, knowing when to buy them from the dealership, when to not, and then of course other places you can buy them. If you ever have any questions about accessories or about buying a Honda, you can always reach out to me. I would love to answer any of your questions, or maybe if there's something that you think I've forgotten or a brand that I should have talked about in this review, please do leave it in the comments. So lastly, I always like to ask for a couple things. One, press the like button. Let me know I'm doing a good job. It just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Or if you don't think I'm doing a good job, leave a comment. You can always leave a comment letting me know I'm doing a terrible job, you don't like the way I talk too fast, you don't like my friend Medesasi over here, or maybe you do like it and you like the way I do these, and maybe you want to leave a comment there. So either way, leave a comment, good or bad. And then lastly, hit subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. It's fantastic. You'll get news, you'll learn things about Hondas, and you get to, get my quasi-funny humor. So other than that, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let her go!